Hey folks, Lester here, and good morning. Give me a moment here. I'm reading some of the comments over here to the side. Oh my goodness, I want to say hi. We're going to talk for a second about Lissa Fleming. Lissa, I hope that this doesn't embarrass you, but I just want to apologize to you, and I want to do that publicly. So as soon as we get started, I'm going to do that. Listen, don't you leave. Do not leave. And I'm going to say now, guys, this is not Jake's Lissa. This is not Jake's Lissa. And so this is my friend Lissa out in California, up in the Northern California. But I've talked to you guys a few times before about how neat it is when you've been doing this for a while. And the way I am, I read all of my comments. I like to read. I'm a reader by nature, so I just read everything. So why do you think I just pulled the label off of my water bottle? Because I'm a sicko. And I'm sitting here and I just clicked live and I started reading the label. So I pulled the label off just because I'm a weirdo and I read everything. And so, in saying so, I read comments and I begin to recognize names. And I felt horrible when I had stopped seeing messages from Lissa. She'd stopped commenting. And so, at some random time, I saw that she had commented. So I replied. I says, "Hey, I hadn't seen you. Everything okay? Whatever. Blah blah blah." And Lissa replies, and this is what she told me. And Lissa, I'm sorry this is it embarrasses you, but it needs to be said. It does need to be said. Lissa made a comment on a live, not too terribly long after Jake had announced that he had a girlfriend who's also named Lissa. And so many people in the comments begin to attack her. Literally, go to her profile, go to her page, her personal Facebook page, and attack her for impersonating Jake's girlfriend. Guys, I'm not sure. I'm guessing Lissa is probably in her 30s. I've never asked her how old she is. But you were so mean to her that day that she says she's not going to comment anymore because of all of the mean things that people were saying to her and about her. And I don't know why the world has to be that way. I do not know why the world has to be that way. So, Lissa, it is great to see you today on the live and that you are commenting. And I hope that I did not embarrass you by saying that. But it's true. You get to know people's names and you begin to recognize different personalities in what they write. You can get to know a person very well. I mean, think about it. You get to know authors of books through, or you get producers, directors of movies, because people's style begins to show in their product. And I think that you can see that. I think that you know that people's style, who they are on the inside, begins to reflect through their product. And um, anyway, I'm glad Liz is back. I'm going to get off on a tangent if I'm not careful. But yeah, you begin to recognize people's names and what they say and how they talk and their demeanor and their personality. And you begin to kind of look forward to that. I hate to say it, but you do. You kind of begin to look forward to that. And when you don't see somebody for a while, you begin to think, hey, I wonder what happened to so and so. And so that was the story with sweet Lissa. And Lissa, I am so darn sorry that that happened to you. And never, ever, ever did I ever want to have a page that could have so much anger and so much hate and so much just evil. And we know the internet is full of stuff like that. We know the internet is full of stuff like that. I still want to believe that my page is different, but I mean, just yesterday I had to make a video about just the number of hatefulness. A lot of that. I think that you're right. Let me just go ahead and say that. Someone says it's not Lisa's fault. It's the fact that there were so many women who were jealous of Jake's girlfriend, Lissa, and they weren't coming at Lissa because it was Jake's girl. They were coming at because they thought it was Jake's girl, and they just the hate and the jealousy and all of that. But even so, man, you can't block and delete everybody because you can't catch everybody. But I tell you what, I just felt so horrible when I heard your story and heard how you come onto the live because you never miss a live, and you had made a simple comment and how you were attacked in the comments, not because of what you said, but because of your name and the way that you spell your name. And it just so happens that Jake's girlfriend also spells her name the same way. And then people were accusing you of trying to impersonate Jake's girlfriend. That is sick. People are just sick, and I'm so sorry about that, Lissa. I've felt bad for you for a while. I've told you that. We've talked since then, but it's nice to see that you're back on. So, anywho, let me go ahead and hide that comment. Lissa, thank you for saying good morning, good afternoon. Now you're in California, so for you it is still morning. It is just turned afternoon for us here. I'll also say that a lot of folks. So I always start the live. Um, and so it begins to send out notifications, but the live hasn't actually gone live. I know that makes no sense to anybody, but so I'm actually here watching you, and I'm reading the comments before I actually click start the broadcast. And so once the broadcast starts, that's when everything actually opens up. And so it kind of reminds me of, like, if you ever go to an event, a concert that's televised, or church. Sometimes they'll televise church, and you know that in church they have to have commercial breaks. So what they will do is find moments that they go to commercial break, yet church is still going on, but you know that something kind of weird's happening. There's a transition happening up on the stage, and that is when church is having their commercial break, because church also has to make money. Church programs make money. So we used to go watch a lot of football games. I would take LE to see my college football games after I graduated. And what they would do is they had a fella who would walk out onto the field, and he had this bright orange glove. And when he walked onto the field, he would stand there with his glove up, and that let all of the announcers and all the referees, all the players, coaches know there's a commercial going on right now. This is we're doing a commercial break. And he had an earpiece on, so he was obviously listening to the announcer booth. And so once the commercial was winding down, then he'd put his arm down and he'd run off the field real fast, and he would hide his glove behind him so it wasn't an eyesore for everyone who was trying to enjoy the game. But no, commercials are a part of stuff. And so that was anywho. So yeah, I am a reader. I guess y'all have already known that about me. In saying so, I'm also wearing my glasses. Jamie said last night, after we had a very long live, my God, it went on for a while. She was talking about some of the comments that were coming up last night that I never saw. I never saw them because I can't read the small writing and how fast it goes by. So I told her that that's my fault. If I'm going to, in fact, run the live, I have to be aware of what people are saying and what they're, and I have to be aware, and I got to be the one to moderate and get that mess out of here, because we know that negativity it spawns more negativity. I don't thank you, Serena. I appreciate it, the compliments. But I don't. So you say that the glasses look great and they're fine, but it's just not me. It's just not me. I don't feel like. Yet it is me, and I'm going to have to get used to it. And so I will. So let me start off today. I think that we've been on long enough to go ahead and get this thing started. I want to show you what's going on outdoors right now. So let me click to a video that I recorded a couple of minutes ago. So listen, someone says you can slow down the remarks on YouTube. But guys, right now we're not just on YouTube. Right now we're coming on YouTube and Facebook. And so you don't have that option. When I use StreamYard, that means I'm leaving YouTube and I'm leaving Facebook and I'm going to a whole new app that I subscribe to, that I pay for. And that pulls those channels to me. It pulls those channels to me. And that allows me so many functions. I can take and I can highlight a comment. You can't do that just using Facebook or YouTube. Tammy says, how's Buddy? Buddy, come here. Buddy. Hold on a minute. Buddy. Do not look at how dirty this house is. But Buddy is over on that couch. Buddy, come here. Okay, he's not getting up. Buddy's not getting up. Buddy slept on the couch with me last night, and he's right there doing fine. But he's on heartworm meds, and he doesn't always feel good. Dope glasses, Lester. John, dope. I'm guessing that's the good kind of dope. That's the good kind of dope, right? Man, you look dope. That's dope, man. That's dope. Yeah, that was back in the 80s and 90s, John. How old are you? Because I remember those words back when something was dope. And then I also remember back when dope was something that you would smoke. Man, that's a doper. He's a doper, which is not a good thing. So dope words have changed, y'all. So Buddy is not 100% after he takes his meds, but he does have his moments. He gets up and he gets around. So thank you for asking about Buddy. And thank you for the compliments on my glasses that I now have to wear so I can keep track of what's going on around me in the comments, because it's not my thing to allow people to fight and argue back and forth. You try to find ways to squash that, and then a lot of folks will say, Lester, ignore the comments, ignore the haters, ignore the haters. But guys, let me ask you a serious question. Since when in life has any society ever become better, bigger, better, and stronger by ignoring hate, by ignoring bullies, by ignoring those that want to incite violence? No, no, that never works. That never works. That never works. That never works. And so I'm not one who's going to sit back and hope that my page can get stronger and better and be a happy, fun place for people, when in reality, the comments are full of nothing but hate and anger. And so I will do my best to try to void the page of that by removing those people. And so I'm not going to ignore the haters. I'm not. I actually had an agenda of today's live, and here we are 13 minutes in, and I have not yet done that. So Rob says, why did you give Moo to Jake? He's just curious. Rob, I am always welcome to answer questions. And I'm also open to all of your opinions. I'm never going to be mean to anybody because you have a differing opinion. So I'll answer your question first. Jake worked for me for a year. I did pay Jake to work here for an entire year. What that did for Jake, it got him out of a dead-end job where he was selling mobile homes and making almost no money. And what it did for Jake was gave him access to two things: internet and animals. So by Jake having and being surrounded by content, it allowed him to create an internet channel where he was the farmhand helping Lester at I'm a Survivor Sanctuary. And a lot of folks were intrigued and interested in that. And so Jake's channel began to grow from people that wanted to know more about the inside and the behind the scenes of I'm a Survivor. And Jake's channel has done very well. In that process, in that year that Jake worked here, Jake also began to find his favorites, his favorite animals. And Moo was one that Jake found as one of his favorites. Big old galoot, as I call him, big old goofy Moo, who'd been here for 4 years or so and had a great time here. And so Jake just kind of fell in love with Moo. Moo was Jake's buddy. And so whenever Jake decided to go ahead and start his own farm, I thought it was only right that he take Moo with him. My goals were kind of going in a different direction. I wanted to spend more time working with my longhorns, and I knew that pasture space over at Longhorn Lester's was limited to 10 acres, and that really wasn't conducive to having an entire herd of longhorns. At the same time, you know that inbreeding is a serious problem. You don't want to have inbreeding. Uh, my God, if this person here didn't say, Lester, ignore the haters, I just addressed that. I will not ignore haters. I will not ignore haters. I will come right back at the haters and give them a piece of their own medicine, because I can show just as much. Anywho, so yeah, so whenever Jake decided to work and create his own farm slash homestead, I agreed to that he should take Jake. He should take Moo, and Moo could be the face of his farm. And so I know that Jake loves Moo. And so the reason that people have an issue with that is the fact that Moo, along with Annabelle and Santoro, the bull and the little rescue that we gave Jake, everyone knows that the lifestyle that the animals lived here at the sanctuary is very different than the lifestyle they are living on Jake's farm. And that's fine. Jake's not doing anything inhumane to the animals. Jake loves his animals, but Jake does have a very different philosophy of the raising and the caretaking of animals. So I'm trying to pick and choose my words very carefully. I don't see eye to eye with Jake on a lot of things when it comes to animals, but he's still my nephew, the same way as I don't see eye to eye with my dad on a lot of things, but yet he's still my dad. And so I love my dad and I love Jake, and I don't see eye to eye on Jamie, who's my wife. So, guys, you don't always see eye to eye with people on a number of issues, on a number of things. But it doesn't mean that it takes away your love for that individual. And I've kind of already addressed that in the video, that if you didn't see, I really would like to see Jake put fresh water out in the pasture. And so I was happy this morning when I got an email from a lady who says Jake's testing out putting fresh water in the pasture. And so I know what's going to happen. Man, I already know the internet so well to know that it's going to be a lot of fighting back and forth. There's going to be people who are going to scream and holler and yell and say that animals have lived for millennia drinking out of ponds and creeks and rivers and puddles. That is true. Animals in nature have lived for millennia drinking out of ponds and rivers and lakes and puddles, but not Moo, not Annabelle, and not Santoro. They have lived their short lives drinking out of fresh water that's changed daily. And they've been fed the best of feeds that are available. And they have been, well, they've been pampered. I'm just going to say they've been pampered and maybe even a little bit spoiled. And so that seems to be the biggest concern that everyone's having with Jake and his animals, is that Jake is kind of going back to the pawpaw style of farming, which is not just my dad, pawpaw, but it's actually the style of farming that you see all over, guys. It's all over. And so all I can say to that is that Jamie and I started the rescue slash sanctuary to give animals their best life. And it's our opinion that animals, to have their best life, need certain needs to be met. The same as you and I have certain needs to be met. And so that's just what we do. That's what we do. But it is not my job. It is not my responsibility. And it's not on me to go down and get on to Jake or to demand things from Jake. That's not my job. My job is to take care of my animals that are here and on my properties, and we will do that. And Because if you get onto Jake, then you got to get onto all those internet farmers who don't do the same things for their cows. So anyway, Jay, thank you for asking the question. That is why I gave moot to Jake. I went a little bit overboard and answered a lot of the other questions on here. And well, so now people are talking about the pond. Listen to me, guys. I think that we all get conditioned to our environments. And so right now I'm drinking water. I have not drank water from the tap in probably a year. So I will say this, the water that I drink that's been bottled and been in the fridge tastes better to me. It tastes better. It tastes better. But I'm not going to say if I go to that tap and fill up this water bottle, it's going to make me sick. It's just not going to taste as good. Maybe I don't know if that's a good analogy or not. People are saying that about the parasites that live in water. That is true. You will have to deal with parasites, but you'll also deal with parasites in water trough water if you don't change your water out on a regular basis. There have been people concerned with the plant life. Jake is trying to kill the plant life. Guys, I'm not making this up. I'm just reading. If you can read the comments, and you can read right along with me. And I don't want to make my live about Jacob. Jacob is my nephew, and he's over there busting his ass, doing the best that he can in creating and building a life with Lissa and his own farm. But I'm just going to say it's different. And so the problem with the dye, so Jake sprayed his pond with a chemical that is safe for animals, but will kill his plant life. And then a lot of folks were saying that the decaying plant life is going to add this horrible taste to that water. And so I don't know, y'all. I don't know, but that's not my problem. If you have those concerns, then it's your job to voice those to Jacob. I don't understand why voicing those concerns to me, either through text or messages or emails, are going to make a difference. Those are the kind of concerns that you voice to the video creator, not to me. So all I can say is that, okay, and there's now, oh gosh, guys, now it's all about tap versus bottled water. It doesn't matter. This is my preference. It's just a choice, but I'm not scared of my tap water. I don't fear it, but I will just, Lord, let's get on with my video. Let's get on. Here we are, 23 minutes in. And oh my gosh, our tap water is horrible, just horrible, says Cindy. So, Cindy, all I will say about our tap water here in the country is it comes from the well, a deep well that our water is pulled up from 300 foot down in the ground. So, it is very pure, it's good, clean water, but it is full of minerals. And sometimes those minerals can begin to accumulate inside, I guess, the bladder or the kidney, not exactly sure. And so there have been some of the elders in our family, the grandparents and those who have had stones, and they think it's because of all of the sediment that might be in our well water. So I'm not scared of sipping well water. It's the water I drink in my coffee, the water we mix with our Kool-Aid. But if I'm just going to sit down and have a glass or in this case a bottle of water, I just got it out of the fridge. So it's just my preference, okay? And it does taste a little bit different to me. So I don't know. That's to each his own. Anyway, I'm going to get off of that now. Guys, I'm just going to remind you of one last thing. This is what I talked about maybe 2 weeks ago, and I feel like these are constant rants, and no one wants to watch a channel where they feel like they're always being griped at. Choose your happy place. Choose your happy place. And if the things that you don't like about Lester's page makes you uncomfortable, makes you not feel happy, then you shouldn't watch. You should go watch other channels that do make you happy. And I would say the same thing for Jake. If you're over here complaining and being upset with Jake, then don't watch. You don't have to. You're not going to miss anything that you wouldn't get from some other channel. So you find your happy place, guys. That's all I can say is find your happy place. And 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 that's why I said yesterday that we don't endorse and we don't have any affiliations with anyone else besides I'm a Survivor, Longhorn Lester's, and Suits to Boots. Jamie and I will take care of us. And we can't control anything with Paw Paw or Kim or Bree or Ellie or Jake or Uncle Dan or anybody else. We can't and we won't. It's not our place. So we will take care of us the same way as you can't control what goes on in your neighbor's home. If you have neighbors and you know that, oh, that's just not right, what's going on, you can't control that, guys. You can't control what goes on in your neighbor's home. So, all right, let's go ahead and get to my video. I'm going to ask you to stop all of this now because you got to stop this now, okay? Jake will make the best decision for his animals, and sometimes you can change your mind if you choose to, but that's on Jake. You don't, one man doesn't tell another man. All right, there's still people griping and arguing about Jake. All right, so we're going to move on, even though some of y'all are not ready. We're moving on. We're moving on. So, well, good morning, folks. Lester here, and I'm going to take you on a short walkabout this morning just to have a peek at all the babies and to show you. Stop looking at me like that. oh, That is the funniest thing. I swear I love her. How can you just not love her? Wasn't it neat watching the way Miss Tina used her instrument, that table instrument, to shear alpacas? You know, most alpacas are sheared by using the old stretch out method, where they take, no, they do, they take rope and harnesses and they literally attach them to all their legs and just stretch them out, kind of like. So this is true. I was talking recently to Daniel over at Arms Family, and they're about to do their alpacas. I don't want to give away his video content, so I'm not going to talk much about it. But I told him how blessed we were that this is the first year that we hired out to have someone come in and do our alpacas for us. In the past, we have all, you know, Jamie and I, along with whoever we could find to help, would go out there and wrangle the alpacas, and one of us would hold them and one would start to shear. And it was tough, y'all. We had, it was all day events, and it was really, really tough. And so this year we said, you know what? We're not really doing the alpacas much justice by having them sitting there held up in a pushed up against the wall. Lester normally putting all my weight against them to hold them down. Annie's spitting all over the place and just getting herself all worked up. And so we begin to reach out to people that shear alpacas. And this one lady I found, you all met her already in all of the videos, YouTube and Facebook, and Tina. She agreed to come out, but my friends, she was 2.5 hours away. But the selling point on Miss Tina is that she didn't use the old strap down system. She had a table, a rotating table. Now, if you don't know what I mean by the strap down system, let me show you how most people have to shear their alpacas. Give me a moment.
Now filming Araminta, being creation. Got Steve and Colin. Colin's the shearer.
So I don't think that these folks are being abusive to this alpaca. They're not being mean. It is kind of hurtful to see the one fella with the blue tank top or the wife beater, whatever you guys call them, sitting there with his knee on her neck. I understand he wants to hold her down so he doesn't get thrashed. He doesn't get to where she can start gashing him with her hooves. But this is kind of what you have to do
Steve is the
with
able
this
assistant
method.
who does absolutely everything else.
For the most
The
part, she's
purpose of
been very
shearing them
calm.
as a career is to stop the young fleece that they're born with catching lots of vegetables.
And then what they do is they take those cables and those straps and they begin to, well, they connect them to each wall of your barn or of your shop or wherever you're at. And they just kind of stretch them out. And once the alpaca is all the way stretched out, then it no longer has the ability to thrash. And that's what you don't want. You don't want the alpacas thrashing around because there have been a lot of injuries happen that way. And I'm sure it's not something that you want to talk about or not something that you want to watch. But there are tons of videos on YouTube that I went to trying to find a simple procedure where all it kept showing were the injuries that happened during this kind of procedure. And so I know that it was a blessing in disguise that when we found Tina had a table. And so I did not put that particular video of Tina on here because I know you've all seen it. But what Miss Tina had was a simple table that we lead our alpacas into, and then she closes them. You might say she kind of compresses them between these two tables, these two pieces of plywood. One of them is soft and padded and goes over the alpaca while her backside is pressed against the table. At that point, they do all of the strapping down that you have to do, and you simply begin the shearing process. There's not all of the, and all of that stuff. You're not on the ground, which completely saves your back and save your knees. Someone says like an alpaca sandwich, and then someone else says the pressure is actually a calming effect. I don't know, but listen, when we called around, I wasn't insistent that we find somebody who had a table. It was just a blessing in disguise. Once again, it was just another miracle that worked out for us and was able to get our alpacas nice and like a warm. Medieval torturing device, and they stretch them out across the barn floor or across the ground where they can't, where they can't thrash and move, and they shear them that way. And that's the way I've always seen it done. I have. Miss Tina, now of course she had to drive 2.5 hours to get here, but she was the first person I've ever seen use the table, which was a whole lot more, I'll just say user friendly, animal friendly, a whole lot less stress on the animal. Now I know those things are expensive, and she said those things are several $1,000s. And shearing alpaca, shearing sheep is not something you do year round, so it's a seasonal job. So I'll go ahead and say that also. And I talked to Tina about this. So that table that she had cost several $1,000s. That thing is not cheap. It was a several $1,000 table that she uses. And then she only charges $50 per animal. So you can imagine how many animal you would have to shear just to pay for the table. And then the table can only be transported on a trailer. So then, whereas those straps can just throw over your shoulder and jump in your truck and go to whatever farm, that table has to be loaded up, and it was heavy. It had to be loaded up and moved around and set up. And so we were so very blessed for having found her. And so now we've reached out, and we've become friends on Facebook and stuff. And we certainly know that our alpacas went through a whole lot less stress. If you were able to see, well, hold on. That's cheap. Everyone's saying that's cheap. Yeah, so she charges $35 for sheep and $50 for alpaca. And I think she charges more for llamas. But yes, we are in Texas. And now hold on. We paid a lot more than that. We paid her, and then we gifted her, or let's just say we blessed her with a lot more than she was asking for. So don't think that Lester's cheap. I know you all think I'm cheap. I know when that last rant video where y'all found out that I only paid $25 an hour. That's cheap. You can work at McDonald's and make more than that. But guy, what I don't mean, I paid her a lot more than the $50 she asked per animal. I paid her for gas and travel and expense, and then we blessed her with the blessings that we've received. And I told her the same thing I tell everybody, that do not deny me the blessing. The animals are the ones that are paying for this. And so the extra money that we gave her, I promise you, is money that Annie and Ernie and Indy would have gladly paid with all the money that they've brought into the farm, just to have that little bit of peace of mind of having the comfort of that table and the simple twisting and all that, compared to the which most folks have to do. So we were very blessed to find her. Let's move forward in the same video to the next segment.
Have that many sheep or alpaca.
Here we go.
And a lot of folks just do it themselves, like Jamie and I have tried to do. Anywho, let's look at the pond right quick. This is the other thing I wanted to talk about today. And the pond is almost to capacity. We should not be seeing those little muddy spots around the edges. So as soon as we get that stuff covered, we will know we're at full capacity. And that's awesome. We're excited about the rain. You know, we do get our hay crop off of this pasture right over here. We have animals at both properties, and we need about, well, between 40 and 50 rolls of hay, you know, each winter. And we are hoping to get that many. We normally will cut this hay twice, and once I get to my 50, I'll send all the rest up to my dad's. That helps save him money for having to buy any. Of course, this year Jake will need hay. So what we're actually excited about is this rain that we're getting right now will help this grass continue to grow. I will fertilize it next week. Talked to Joanne about that yesterday. And then let's hope that by the end of May, we'll get our first cut. And there have been years, guys, you know this, if you follow the page for a while, you know there have been years where we've got over 50 bales or 50 rolls, our very first cut, our May hay.
So we call it May hay. I want you just to notice how blessed, and maybe I overuse the word blessed, but look at that green grass. Just look how green that is. Here we are in April, and the rains that we're having right now are not downpours. We've had a couple of just a few minutes of downpours, but it's just been 2 or 3 days of just steady, soft, but consistent rain. And so there's no puddling, there's no pooling, there's no standing water. I was telling Lana this morning that everything seems to be going fine. We're not in any kind of a flooding threat or anything like that. But I'll tell you what, the ground is soaking up that water, and it's going to do wonders for that first cut of hay. We normally cut our hay at the end of May, our first cut. And so on years like this, if I can get fertilizer out next week, as soon as it dries up, I'm going to get fertilizer out. And we're going to do that ourselves this year. This will be the first year that we're going to actually go to Tractor Supply and buy bags of fertilizer and put them in our tractor seed spreader and spread that ourselves. In years past, we've hired out for fertilizer, or we have rented the fertilizer buggies. But guys, those things have gone up so much in price, and many of the fertilizer feed store components have gone out of business. They cannot afford fertilizer. Everyone says it's because of the stuff going on in the Ukraine, I think is a really big exporter of fertilizers, and that has really hurt farmers. So we will be actually buying bags of fertilizer and doing it ourselves this year. And but it'll be some work, but I hope, and I got my fingers crossed, that we're getting just the right amount of rain with fertilizer, and we can go ahead and get our first cut, and that'll give us the 50 rolls that we need. We will fill up our barn, and then we will send the rest over to Longhorn Lester's. And then after we get more than 50, it all goes to my dad. And if Jake has a place to store it, then Jake can take some to his place as well. You do know that animals will always prefer hay that has been stored out of the weather. over hay that's been out in the weather. And so hopefully Jake can have him a place available so he can go come grab some of that hay as well, because I'm really hoping to get more than 50. If you remember last year, because of the drought and because we could not fertilize, we only got, I think, 24 or 23 our first cut, and I think about 23, 24 our second cut. So we had to end up buying hay, which is why we have so much left over right now. But can old hay be composted? Probably so, Linda. I don't know for a fact, but what we do with old hay. So let me just go ahead and talk about that just for a second. Let me hide this. There. So we would rather burn it, Linda. What I will do, the fly issues is so bad this time of year, flies and just all kinds of flying pests, that what seems to be the best use of old hay is to go out and just light it on fire. Now, it takes hay, a roll of hay will take an entire week to burn. All you do is go out there and fluff it up a little bit, the way you would kind of poke your fire in your fireplace, and you can kind of like fluff it up a little bit and keep it burning. And that smoke in itself will create a barrier. It will create an entire barrier, sometimes over your property. If you will burn that hay right before nighttime, you never burn your hay during the day, because during the day, with the pressure, the heat, and all that, your smoke will go straight up and be gone. But you always wait until right about dark. You light your hay on fire. And this is like science. This is a whole lot deeper than I shouldn't even be telling you all this, but something happens at night. Have you ever noticed how the fog will settle in? So what happens is, as that fog begins to settle in and that smoke begins to go up, it hits that barrier of fog, and that smoke can't go up through it. So that smoke will kind of disperse around it. And guys, if you light your hay on fire right about nighttime, this time of year, this entire hill will be covered in smoke. And flies, mosquitoes, gnats, all those horrible flying things will simply just, it's a barrier. It's a barrier that keeps them away. And so, do we have someone else being a jerk on here? Someone else is saying they're reporting somebody. Gosh. Oh Lord. Anyway, so no, we it might could be composted and returned, but we do that through ashes to ashes. We will just simply ashes to ashes, and we'll take care of it that way. It still returns to the earth, Linda. It just kind of does it in a way that helps us with our fly issues. Um, Lester, please get rid of Jody Darby. So you have to be careful when someone tells me. I got to see what Jody Darby said. Let me back up a little bit. Uh-oh. Don't y'all leave me. I'm still here. Don't leave me. I pushed the wrong button. So Jody Darby is talking crap. Let's go find Jody Darby, and let's see here. Let's go up and find him. Y'all, this will be fun. Don't leave me. Don't leave me, because you don't want to hear Lester finding Jody Darby. Let's just find him, and I'm gonna analyze Jody Darby. I'm gonna be like one of those FBI analysts, and I'm just gonna analyze the heck out of this guy or girl and figure out exactly what's going on. And that's fun. That's fun to do. Someone says, Jody Darby, how dare you? Wow, what did Jody Darby do? Oh, Jody Darby probably wants attention. And isn't that something when you get here's Jody Darby. Here we go. Please send their fake nonprofit bags of fertilizer as they burn their unused hay bales. So Jody Darby, first of all, that's not even really who you are. You tried to find a picture of somebody who looks handsome, more handsome than you, and with this great smile, with hundreds or maybe thousands of dollars of teeth work. You copied that guy's picture onto your page. That's what you did. So Jody Darby, please send their fake nonprofit. Okay, so Jody Darby, you can go onto the government website and look up every nonprofit. And if that's what you want to do, then you can welcome to do that. And then no one's asking for anything. As a matter of fact, fake Jody Darby, I have said over and over and over do not send us anything. We don't want a penny. Jody, would you rather them send you something? Would you rather them send you something? And so, yes, we will burn our unused bales of hay because hay is perishable. Hay does have a shelf life. And so hay that is this year will not be good next year. So as a matter of fact, if we left that hay sitting in the barn, it would continue to deteriorate and rot. And next year it would be good for nothing. So hay has a shelf life, Jody. I'm surprised with all your internet research, you didn't know that. And then secondly, I'm surprised you have not also looked up I'm a Survivor Sanctuary and seen our nonprofit status. That's available to anyone. And you really should work on finding a more fitting profile picture. That is the dumbest thing people can do, is go copy someone. He's probably the same guy who goes into your comments and says, I have really enjoyed reading your comments. You seem to have such insight. Could you friend request me? That would be great if we could become friends. Jody, that's a joke. So, all right, everybody, I will remove Jody Darby. Jody, is there anything else you want to say before I let you go? Uh-oh, hold on. I'm going to scroll down and find out if there's anything else Jody wants to say before I let him go. Hey, Jody, would you like to join me live right now? Jody, Mr. Darby. How about we let Mr. Darby join us right now? Jody, comment if you would like to join me right now. You can come on live with me. Where's Jody at? Jody says woohoo. Jody, would you be willing to join me? We can split the screen and we can go side by side. Because what I imagine you are, I would say, I'm not going to say, that's going to kind of be mean. That would be awesome. Jody, if you're going to get on here and attack me and my animals and the organization, then it would be nice if you would do it face to face, not literally in my home, but you could be right here beside me and you could bless all of us with your presence. But the problem is you're fake. And that would show you who you are. You're fake. Let me tell you who Jody really is. Jody is either number one, he's fake. But Jody, number two, is either someone that is in love with Jake and hates me because of the things that have been created between Jake and I, or he or she, it could be a she, is in love with what's the other guy? Chad Doss, who also has people that comes to my page to constantly harass and call me out on things. So anyway, Jody did not accept my invite. Instead, he's saying that I'm fake. Well, Jody, here I am. This is me. Bald head, horrible smile, glasses, and I'm not going to put on someone else's, I'm not going to put on a blazer. And anyway, so Jody's either fake or he's a coward. Either way, he's not saying send me the invite, because I could simply just send him the link to join me. Jody, it's real simple. Plenty of people have joined me on a live. Well, everyone wants Jody to come on. Everyone's wanting Jody to come on, and Jody won't come on. And now he's gone. Well, it was a pleasure making your acquaintance, Jody, and try to take it easy on yourself. It's not your fault. I'm guessing mommy issues. That's a real thing, and that's a sad thing, but it happens. Anyway, Jody will go create a brand new account, y'all. He will go create himself a brand new account, and he might use someone else's face next time. Probably not quite so distinctive as a good looking middle-aged man. But anyway, I want to show you all a picture that we were gifted. Isn't that lovely? I hope that y'all were able to see the video. I hope that you were able to see the video of this moment that we were able to capture on camera, on video. Jamie wasn't able to go with me when I drove the horses over, but I knew that when I came inside the gate there at Longhorn Lester's, I got out and I opened the windows to the trailer. You can't transport your horses in a trailer with the windows open. It's not safe, and I don't think it's legal. But I got to the property and I opened the windows and I let the horses put their heads out. And of course, they were curious. Voodoo and Bucky's had never been there before, so it was all new to them. And we went up the driveway nice and slow. I'm videoing the entire thing. I had the entire thing's on video. And at some point, Dixie, who was actually out and about that day, hold on, Jake wants to be invited. Who says Jake wants to be invited? I don't see shirtless Jake. Hold on, let's see if Jake is here. Hold on. I would be more than glad to have Jake on, but I don't know if that's true or not. Someone says shirtless Jake wants an invite. Was that? Oh, Jake is here. Jake is here. Hold on. Jake, if you make fun of my glasses, you're dead to me. Jake, if you're going to come on to make fun of my glasses, where did I see Jake at? Dang it. All right, Jake, this is for you only. Guys, this is for Jake only. Jake or Jody only. Command V. I think this is it, Jake. Jake, if you'll click that link, I think you can join me. If you'll click that link. Only Jake, guys, no one else, only Jake. But no, it was a beautiful moment to see Dixie, even with her sickness, even as I don't want to say sick. I hate to say that word sick, but oh, Jake is here. Hold on. Dude, listen to me. I don't know if he starts making fun of me. He's dead to me. He is so dead to me. Hi.
I'm not making fun of you.
Why are you laughing?
Because I heard you say if I make fun of you, now I'm trying to think of things to make fun of you for.
Just not my glasses, Jake.
That's all I heard in the beginning of this live was you saying, this is not me. This is not me with your glasses.
Here's the problem, Jake. People are mean in the comments, and if I can't see the comments, all I see is blur right here. And when I put on my, now I can read every comment. It's hard to read. You know about this. It's hard to read and work at the same time. And this is.
If I were you, I'll just leave my glasses off because commenters are bad. I wish I'm gonna start wearing Lissa's glasses so I can't see the comment.
Don't. Oh, Jake, I'm telling you, it's been rough. It's been rough.
It's me. I'm Jody.
You're Jody?
No.
You're Jody. You're Jody.
I thought it would be too far to actually shave my head, so I just found that picture on the internet.
Jake, you have a filter on your phone where you have been bald plenty of times. I've seen it.
Well, I don't think I can go live on Snapchat.
No, you can't. But I know you have made fun of my bald head plenty of times. And so I won't be surprised if next time I see a video of Jake making fun of me, it's bald with glasses on. Big old dark glasses. Big old dark ones. But anyway, what's going on, Jake?
Oh no, I'm here to lay down the law. We're about to lay down the law.
Okay.
And it's
this is gonna be so fun, Jake. Lay it down, Jake. Lay it down.
No, I am just sick of the commenting trying to cause strife in between you and I when there is none.
Right.
And I don't know why these people go out of their way to try to come in between us. And like you've said 100 times, like I've said 100 times, everyone does stuff differently. There's not one way to run a farm. As long as they're fed, as long as they got access to water, as long as they're well taken care of and not neglected.
Yesterday, you and I had a talk out by the fence. And so this is the kind of stuff that people, you don't have your camera out at every interaction. That's done. We still have a life. And so yesterday I went down and Jake saw me out working. And actually Jake busted me on something. You want to talk about how you busted me on something?
Yeah, so I've seen you come up with this great idea to put up your bovine rub or your fly rub.
I'm calling mine a sock. I'm just going to call mine a sock.
A sock. Well, I actually just now made a video. I actually moved mine. I moved locations instead of doing what we talked about. I just changed locations.
Oh, okay.
Of mine. So then I had to go back and copy you for copying me.
Well, so the truth of the matter is, guys, and so I hate to give y'all too many of our creator secrets, but a lot of stuff we collaborate on. We collaborate back and forth. And so Jake put up his bovine sock, or that's the thing that we use for the fly repellent. And that's the thing that we use for the animals to walk under, and that will get all the flies off their back. Now, we've had one for years, but Jake, will you admit it's kind of a pain in the ass? Okay.
Yeah, okay, so I'll give away my whole video right now.
No, you don't have to, but only if you want to.
Well, yeah, no, there's more to the video, so I don't guess it'll give the whole video away.
Hold on, Jake. Jake, did you send this girl here? Did you send Kelly over here? Keep that sock out of your teeth, Buster. Kelly, if you could see the size of this sock, you haven't seen this sock yet, but I'm just gonna go. Kelly, you're naughty. I'm just gonna get rid of that right now. Go ahead, Jake.
No, so you know how Moo is obviously massive, right?
Yeah.
So he would need a high side. And then Rip and Annabelle, so mine angles down, so Rip and Annabelle can go to the low side. Well, now all that happens is Moo gets rubbed no matter what side he tries to go under. But Rip and Annabelle have just learned that they just walk under the high side, so it's useless for them. But I ordered some of those. Have you seen the dangly things that go over it, and it goes like they hang down like two more feet?
So it kind of is like this, and so it has to rub down them.
Yeah, so it's literally like a car wash, like a cow wash.
Okay, yeah, like a car wash.
But yeah, so they found a flaw in my system there.
Well, Jake, you will never guess what happened to me yesterday. So obviously, Pearl. Pearl is the largest of the longhorns that are here. Jolene, who's her daughter, is the smallest. And so Jake came out yesterday. Well, I'm sorry, I'm getting all off. I have to back up. Yes, I saw Jake's video on him hanging up his sock, the cattle sock, or whatever you call it. What do you call it? What's the official name?
Bovine rub.
The bovine rub. And so I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go hang mine up too, but I'm going to hang mine up in a different way, and not to try to outdo or one up Jake, but just because it's that time of year. Flies are bad. They're real bad. And you can't walk around behind them all day spraying them. And so they need some way to kind of help repel things themselves. So I go out to make my video, and Jake sees me. So Jake walks over, and I'm like, shit, he busted me. And so we always get ideas off each other. So that's not a big deal. Each creator is different in how they present their content, obviously. But while Jake and I were sitting there talking about the bovine rubs or the bovine sock, Jake and I had another conversation about fencing. And so these are the kind of things that you guys don't see. We work together to talk about potential issues, upcoming issues. And so I'm giving away my video now, but I have let all of my longhorns into the back pasture. And that means that now they not only have to worry about Jake's bull, Santoro, wanting to come across and visit. He can't, because that's the brother. He's the brother and the uncle to my female. So they really can't, they should not be interbreeding. And then we have Moses, who's further back than that. So I told Jake, I'm going to have to go down and start doing some more fencing at some point. So I confirmed with Jake, would it be okay if I start doing the fencing over on his side of the property? because my side is way too thick. I just can't even walk down through there. So it's true, Jake, that we have to sometimes, I hate to say entertain all of the necessary comments over here, but it does get to be overwhelming. Is that Lissa?
Yeah.
You want to invite her over?
Lissa, you want to come over?
Hey, Lissa.
Hi.
How you doing?
What were you talking? Sorry, somebody tagged me in something. Who's Lissa?
You're Lissa.
No, the
other one.
Oh, I think I told Jake that story. It's a really sad story, though. You don't want to hear this sad story.
Okay.
But there's a lady who's been. Well, I'm telling you the story. You walk away. I said you don't want to hear it, but you have to say no. I want to hear it. You have to we banter off each other here. Anywho, there is a sweet lady who's a friend. I would call her a friend of mine. I've never met her. She's in California, but her name is also spelled the same as yours. And after Jake and you had met and Jake had introduced you to everybody, I was doing a live, and I'm going to say my Lissa, not my Lissa, but the other Lissa who spells her name like you. She came on the live, and everyone was being so mean to her, accusing her of impersonating you or trying to be you. And then it just got to be ridiculous in all those comments. So it made her not even want to comment anything for a long time. And so I was happy today to see that Lissa was actually back commenting again finally. So
well, it's not our fault we got the same name.
It is. It's a unique spelling. So how did you come up with your spelling?
I just took the A off of Alyssa.
Oh, that's all?
Yep.
Okay. So that's all. All right. Well, that's interesting. Well,
all right, that's all. Somebody tagged me in something, and I was so confused by the comment. I just had to hear that story.
Oh, well, that was where it came from, because when I started my live this morning, the very first thing I talked about was my Lissa, who was on the live already. So I talked about that little story.
Oh.
So someone probably tagged you so you would know what's going on. So, anywho. All right. See you, Lissa. Yeah. So, folks, y'all should know that we don't have to always see eye to eye. Jake, I talked about my video yesterday. I don't know if you watched it or not. Back whenever I had that beef with Chad over at Adler Farms, and sometimes you find yourself being pulled into things that you don't want to be pulled into. We got enough drama. We have enough life that we have to live on our own. We have enough issues. We ain't like everyone else. We got financial issues. We got marital or relationship issues. We got kid issues. We are just like everyone else. And then if that's not bad enough, we get pulled into drama that we never created, know? And so
because we're like, I mean, that's our job, is to video everything, right? So our life is extremely judged because everyone gets to see most of it or a lot of it. But I guarantee you, if everyone else made videos, they'd be judged too.
Oh, how'd that pop up on there? Whoops. I don't know where that came from. I didn't touch nothing, Jake.
Well, I'm on here, so I can't be doing it. It's not me.
Donna, you're sneaky. But no, I will. You're right, though, Jake. We video stuff. And then, Jake, go ahead and spill the beans on the fact that a lot of things that people get the most worked up about were collaborated ahead of time by you and me just to get people worked up. But we don't want y'all to be mean. We just want you to be.
It can't just be a fun banter. It has to turn into people being really mean.
Yes, just banter, y'all. Have banter, like agree, disagree, but you don't have to learn to hate based on video creators creating videos.
You know what's sad is my blocked list is probably more than my follower list.
well, I don't know, Jake. I hate to block people because I think sometimes they're having a bad day. I think that sometimes people have a bad day. Someone says, who's Chad? I will not tell you who Chad is because I do not want you to run off there and fall in love with a guy who only videos his kids for content. Oh, did I say that, Jake? Gosh darn it. Gosh darn it, Jake. No, we like to have fun, y'all. And Jake, everyone knows Jake is the funnest guy on the hill. And we don't want to change any of that. But I also know that sometimes when we maybe go too far, Jake, without realizing it, because we don't realize it, and we go too far, and people that are heavily invested in us, and you love that they heavily invest in you. I mean, you can't ask for a more loyal following than people that invest in your life and want the best for you. But at the same time, it sometimes makes it to where it's difficult, and we end up getting ourselves into trouble, you know. But I hate to ban them, because then I think that what if they were just having a bad day, or what if they realized later, oh, they were just joking, and now it's too late? Because Jake, have you realized that once you ban, you can't unban, or is there a way you can unban?
I think there's a way deep in the settings, but I haven't researched it because
Found
I don't remember who they are specifically. It's just like if I see something I don't like, I'm like, all right, well, that's enough of that. Or the
Yeah.
people that go reply to everyone's comments and just say the same thing over and over and over.
Information is power, Jake. Information is power. I've learned that. And there are some people that want to make sure that they know that everyone knows what they know. And if
Yeah.
they know an inside scoop of something, then they want to share that. But it's a sad place. But guys, just know, well, here's Jake for himself. That's the real Jake. You're the real Jake, right? This is not a hired. I did not hire an impersonator to come on and do this. And oh my gosh, Kelly's back again. This is the girl that talks about the big sock. When are we going to see the rest of Chrissy's puppies? Those dogs have been gone for a month, Kelly.
Baby, where's Moose? He's outside.
You only get to see one, the one that's still around. The other puppies are all gone.
How do I flip this camera?
There's a little button on there. Don't make me come over there and do it, Jake.
Oh, here we go. Hi, Moose.
That's the only one you get to see, Chrissy. That's the only one you can see. Or I don't know what her name was. That's the only one you get to see right there.
Are you coming in? Come on.
And he's a good dog. Tell us about him, Jake.
Oh, what do you want to know about him? He's like quadrupled in size since we got him.
Tell us the best thing about him, and then you got to tell us the worst thing.
I can tell you the best.
Please.
He loves me so much.
Oh, he's bonded with you.
He protects me. He loves me. He comes to me. He's gotten really smart about the bathroom. He'll come. Well, he's been like going pee on his pee pad, and then he'll come tell me. He'll come and literally sit there and bark at me to tell me.
Oh, that's good. That's neat.
Yeah. He's learned some new tricks. He's doing awesome. But you know that bond you have with a dog, you can't really explain too much.
Yeah.
I definitely have that with him. I love him so much. He's a really good boy.
So I
have gotten zero attention since this dog has come in here. None. At nighttime, I'll be laying there and be like, are you coming to bed? Well, hold on. I got to go tell Moose good night. She'll be in here for 30 minutes.
Well, that's Jake. I'm sorry, but she's hoping you'll fall asleep before she comes to bed. That could be what's happening. She's hoping that you'll fall asleep before she comes to bed. And don't ask me how I know that, Jake. Don't ask me how I know.
I think the only bad thing is that just like a lot of other men, he has selective hearing.
Of course, yes.
He has selective hearing, for sure. But that's about it.
Well, I've always said that animals will choose their people, and so you really can't change that. When it happens, it happens. Jake just has to accept it. Yeah. And so Moose has chose you. Do y'all also think, and from experience, that sometimes female animals will choose male humans and vice versa? Or has that not been your experience?
I think so.
I think so too.
I don't have a female dog.
I think so.
Well, yeah, Jake, because all your dogs are always males. Gunner, and then before Gunner, it was
Clubber.
Lumpy. Yeah. So
yeah, he had all kind of lumps on him.
All right. Well, guys, you've heard it from the horse's mouth or from Jake's mouth. Jake, thank you for joining the live. And then I'll pay you later, Jake. I'll pay you later.
Okay. Well, we showed moose too. I want a little bit extra.
How long were you on?
I don't know.
Because I only paid $25 an hour, Jake. So don't.
Oh, probably. Well, at this point, we got to round up.
Oh, we're rounding up. Okay, we'll figure it all out. All right, Jake. I'll see you later.
All right, see you.
Bye, buddy. I am so glad Jake joined. I did not ask him to. But y'all need to stop giving shout outs to that one fella, because that's not cool. That's not cool to use my platform to shout out to somebody else who does not run a never mind. Anywho, it was good having Jake join me. Guys, once again, for the second day in a row, I've gone over an hour. Last night, Jamie was so mad because it was that little Texas goodbye that ended up extending a normal live into a 2-hour live. And who does that? Who does that? But I do have things to get done. I wanted to show you a couple of things that came in the mail, but I'm only going to do it if someone says do it. I'm watching I can read everything that you're saying here. I can read everything that you're saying. Okay, so if someone says the longer the better. So, okay, so Dave, you're saying the longer the better, and so that's fine. These were opened by Benjamin, by Ben. He opens the packages. I don't know what they are, though. Greenies pill pockets. I do not have any idea what a pill pocket is. Guys, I'm small town, and here in the small town, we don't really know some of the stuff that you guys do in the city. Okay, well, this is pretty cool. So pill pockets, it looks like it's a way to disguise a pill that you have to give to one of your animals. So it has a little hole, and I'm guessing you put the pill in the hole, and it hides the medication, and it might even hide the taste. Y'all want to try it out on Buddy? Let's see if we can get him over here. Hold on. Now, I normally use cheese for this, but I will use the pill pocket. Can y'all see? Now, this pill is going to be way too big. I wonder if you can just break this in half. Give me a moment here. I had a pair of scissors. I hope that Buddy even likes the pill pockets. Buddy. So I'm just going to close that up inside the pill pocket like this. Now, Buddy's already going to be very finicky. He's already very finicky. So just don't. Hey, come on. Come on, Buddy. Come on. Come on, Buddy. Come on, Buddy. Buddy, come over here and eat. Come here. Come on, Buddy. Come on, Buddy. He's laying down. He's just so nice and comfy. Come here. I got you a snack. So if he does eat this, I'll have to give him a couple because there's only one pill inside here. Do you like this? You gonna eat it or not? Buddy, eat the darn thing. I can't sit here and hold it while you lick it. Uh-oh, bad news. It was a sweet idea, but Buddy doesn't seem to care for the pill pocket. Now that's chicken flavor. Chicken flavor, chicken flavor. They're all chicken flavor. It was a sweet idea, and thank you so much. Buddy's looking pretty good. Hey, Buddy, come here. Give Daddy some loving. Oh, Buddy, like I beat him or something. I've never touched this dog in a beatful way. Buddy, stop being so like that. Okay, people want to say hi to you, Buddy. You don't want to say hi to anybody? Can you please eat the pill pocket? If I scratch your ears, will you eat it? Nope. He's not going to do it. He's not going to do it. He's not going to do it. Let me get a slice of cheese, y'all. Hold on. This might be the original pill pocket over here. So we'll do that same thing. I'll take that peel. So I got the peel here. I'm going to wrap it up in this cheese and just smash it into a pill pocket. So this is the Lester version of the pill pocket. You like that? Did you like that? I think Buddy was probably hit a lot before he came to be with us. And you know that because he like hunkers. If you put your hand out, he automatically hunkers. Watch. See how apprehensive? He just has never, ever gotten familiar to what it's like to be loved on. And he will hunker down, and he seldom comes when you call. So anyway, you saw the Lester version of the pill pocket. That was only half of the peel. I'll have to dig that peel out of there later. Maybe he'll take it now that he's had some cheese. Eat it, buddy. No, he has no interest whatsoever in that. So what I'm going to do is I normally put the entire peel in one slice of cheese. This is kind of gross what I'm doing. I'm having to open the peel pocket, get me a second slice of cheese, because he has to have that entire tablet in once. There we go. So I've made me a second cheesy peel pocket. Here, buddy. So, hey, thank you for the kind gift. But I guess if you want to gift for Buddy, send cheese. Just send Kraft slice. I'm kidding. We don't want any Kraft cheese, y'all. We'll be fine. All right, I want to say bye to Buddy. We love you, Buddy. You're doing good, and I'm so proud of you for being strong and being a good boy. And I know one day you'll earn that trust. One day you'll learn to trust Daddy. There you go. Show me your pretty face. There we go. Okay. Go back to the couch, buddy. How many of y'all got dizzy from all that shuffling and moving around? I know. Okay. Well, listen, thank you for the pill pockets. We'll try. I'm going to take these to the other property, and we'll see how they work out on the other animals. How about that? And then I'll open one more. I don't know if you can read that or not, but it's cute who it comes to. Can y'all see that? It says to the pigs and Ringo. So that's cute. To the pigs and Ringo. That's all I have for you, Buddy. Buddy's still here, like I'm going to give him more. Oh, now this is very kind. And how funny that you include Ringo. That is the most awesome. It's funny. I don't think that I said that we're getting low on oatmeal, and I don't think I made a video about it. But how funny that you say to the pigs and to Ringo, because it's true. Ringo wants to eat with the pigs. He will nibble on his grains, but he wants to eat oatmeal with the pigs. And that is the weirdest thing to me. I've never known why they do that. Now, all of the animals will walk by and smell the oatmeal and, sometimes take a little bite. The geese will come by and also eat with the oatmeal. So that's the craziest thing. And we go through we go through a lot of oatmeal around here. But anywho, guys, that's all I have for you. I'll just leave you. I'm going to leave you with the most beautiful photo that we received. Thank you so much for the kind person who sent this to us. It wasn't just this one. You took several photos of really neat moments, and we're going to have this framed because, Dixie will not be with us forever. We already know that. Dixie will not be with us forever. And this really was a magical moment that I was so blessed to capture on video. And yes, it was in Jamie's video, but I captured the video. Does it matter? People will fight you about everything. Yeah, so I captured the video and gave it to Jamie because it's her video content. And that happens sometimes. You capture moments that would not do justice to be served on your channel, it would go better to someone else. And so Jamie made a very touching, a very powerful video using some footage that I was able to record, and I passed on to her. And it was a beautiful moment. If y'all have not seen that video, I encourage you to go watch it. It's just a really neat moment, a moment that is just going to pull at your heartstrings. So, all right. Well, I would say it was a very productive live. We have opened some gifts. We talked to Jake to help get his perspective out there. We shown some of the good, the bad, and the ugly of video creating, and some of the strife that it puts on family members who live so close and then work together to try to bring edutaining videos to everybody. We've talked about the differences in farming, and how there's not a one size fits all mentality when it comes to farming. I hope that we've addressed everything that there were concerns about. Oh, and we also invited that one weird guy to come join us. And I would say, last but not least, we've met Kelly. We got to talk about the sock. Thank you, Kelly. And that is the first real laugh that I felt coming from inside me in a long time. We also talked about water, and we argued a little bit back and forth about that. Anywho, I will let you all go. Y'all have a fun afternoon, and great weekend. And Jamie and I will see y'all together live on Sunday. All right. We've been going live at 8 in the afternoons. The evening is easier for us to get all of our jobs done. And then, yes, Kelly says, talk about the sock. And then someone else says, in the bed under the sheets. Y'all think I'm making that up? I'm not making that up. I'm going to pull it up for you. I got to see who said that. Dang it, it was there and now it's gone. Or I just can't find it. Anywho, thank y'all so very much. We're very blessed to have you. It's awesome making the acquaintance of so many wonderful people. And thank you for accepting us with our many flaws and shortcomings. Not that sock though, right, Kelly? See y'all later. Oh my God.